Well, just as inevitable as traffic on I-25, Broncos country saw this happen today. Russell Wilson no longer will be a Denver Bronco. The team announcing today they plan to release him at the start of the new league year, which hits next week. This was Russell's statement posted on social media. Part of it says, quote, "Our family grew here. We made countless memories and friendships and formed relationships that will last a lifetime." And he said to my teammates, "Thank you for going to battle together and being there through it all." Russell Wilson ended his tweet today with, "I am excited for what's next." Again, it was simply a matter of when and not if, as far as those who watch the team closely.
Now, we just want to know what day before what? The 17th? Is that it? Or March? The Broncos front office has been really coy in the past about what they would do with Russell Wilson and his mega contract, but they made it official today. Scotty Gaines joins now with the end of the Russell Wilson era. It had so much promise.
It did.
Initially, I mean, this town was like, woo!
Where were you on March 16th, 2022? The day they announced the Russell Wilson trade.
Everyone was excited.
Everybody was excited. The Broncos traded away all of their assets to get him. They signed him to a $245 million contract not long after. And in 2 seasons, they received just 11 wins. He's no longer the Broncos quarterback. Our 9 News Broncos insider mike-klis joins us now live. You know, Mike, all the talk at the Combine last week, the NFL Combine, was Sean Payton seemed to have moved on. He was already talking about his next quarterback. It's well known Sean and Russ were not best friends, but how much do you think that goes into Russ not returning? Because statistically, he had a fine year this past season.
Yes, I think it has everything to do with it. I mean, a lot of people are saying it's a contract why they're releasing him, but they're eating $39 million. They're paying him $39 million this year. And if a team decides to pay $39 million to a player to go away, that means the coach didn't like that quarterback for whatever reason. And I agree, Scotty. Russell Wilson seemed to have a fine year statistically, 26 touchdowns against 8 interceptions. He was 6th among quarterbacks who played full time. He had some fourth quarter magic in him, but he just didn't have the precision, the processing, the timing, getting players straight. There were times when receivers were supposed to go in motion and Russ didn't get him in motion, and that messed up the play. There were little things like that, some intangibles that it didn't mix with Sean Payton. And Sean Payton's in charge of this organization now. No longer George Payton, who made the trade, but Sean Payton is making really the ultimate decisions. He went to the Combine to try to fall in love with a quarterback. I think you'll see the Broncos with the free agent quarterback next week, and they interviewed 8 of the top quarterbacks that are going to be draft eligible in April, and so they're gonna draft one of those guys too, I would think. So they're going to have 2 guys. They're going to start over, new start for the Broncos, and Russell Wilson, regardless of where he goes, he's going to get $39 million from the Broncos.
Yet again, Bronco fans are going to have an offseason of who's going to be our quarterback next year. We'll have a lot of time to dive into that. So, Mike, they gave up 5 picks, 3 players, gave Russ $245 million in the process of all this. Would you say this is the worst move in Broncos franchise history?
It's the worst move in Broncos franchise history. There's some debate on where it ranks in NFL history. I don't think it's up there with the Herschel Walker trade, because in that trade, the Dallas Cowboys went from 1-15 to winning 3 of the 4 Super Bowls. So Seattle still has to turn around their program and become Super Bowl champions as a result of the Wilson trade for it to be the worst. But from the Broncos' perspective, it didn't help. When you give up all those draft picks, never mind the players, and they were quality players, but what really hurt were all those draft picks. The Broncos went all in on Russell Wilson in 2022, and at the time it was applauded. It was applauded here in the 9 News, 4 o'clock newscast, I'm pretty sure. And it just, for whatever reason, George Payton first hired Nathaniel Hackett, as you know, it was to lure in Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay. That didn't work out. Russ was plan B. Everyone was excited about plan B. Then Sean Payton came in, and he wasn't committed to Russell Wilson. The way the rest of the organization was. And so they move on, they start over. Maybe they can stay on the same page and have the GM, the head coach, the owner, and the quarterback, where everybody's invested in the same people, those top 4 pillars of an organization. They all have to be combined as one. The Broncos haven't had that in 7 or 8 years. And that's what they need going forward if they're going to dig out of this hole that they've been in, really since Super Bowl 50. in the 2015 season.
There's a reason they haven't made the playoffs in 8 seasons. Mike, thanks so much. We'll talk to you at 5 o'clock. Mike mentioned $39 million that Russ will get this season. At the end of that statement, he says he's excited for what's next. I don't blame him. He's getting $39 million. He'll get to go to a new city.
He was going to get it either way. So when Mike says it's the worst move in Broncos history, and might be the worst in NFL history, but where does it stand in world history? Is it one of
it's top 20
It's
for
in
sure.
the top 20.
Yeah.
Well,
it's in the AP top 25 poll, I'd say.
Well, when they went all in on Peyton Manning with a little bit of uncertainty, it worked.
Yeah, I think
so
a lot of
people
fans
were hoping.
saw Elway, Manning, Wilson, and it just didn't turn out that way for them.
We'll see what happens with Russell. We'll see what happens with the Broncos. A lot to talk about, Scotty. We'll see you coming up with more at 5 o'clock.